What's up, guys? Beckham Me is here, and here's my review for Pokemon Best Wishes, the soft reboot of the Pokemon anime. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about our main character, Satoshi. He is kind of reduced all the way to Gen 1 Ash. Yeah, that's one thing I dislike about. I liked this season, but one Best Wishes, but I'm Pokemon Pokemon. But that's the one thing I didn't like about this season. How they reduced, not reduced. What I just said. How they reduced Ash or Satoshi to Gen 1. Like, they made him all the way back to 10 years old, so he has to relearn everything that he's already learned from the past 3 generations. Yes. And this time, he has all 3 starters. He's traveling again with a cook named Silent or Dent. Actually, it's Dent or Silent. And Iris, who he's traveling with a gym leader and named Dent or Silent. And a tomboyish character named Iris. Who, yeah, Iris is still the same. So yeah. There's one thing that bugs me about Best Wishes. There's actually 2 episodes. There's one episode where Ash catches Swaddle, and Dent has to explain to him, hey, you already have 7 Pokemon. That's why your Pokemon's small. Okay? And I was like, okay. But then they redo that again in another episode where he catches another Pokemon where he transferred one of his Pokemon, and Dan has to explain to him again how that works. I thought that was kind of annoying how Dan had to explain to him again. Yeah. And yeah. So yeah, and they also do the abandoned Firestar storyline because Pokeboo or Tepig was abandoned by his trainer, and his trainer thought he was weak and wanted to find a stronger version. He's kind of like the Damien or Daisuke of Pokemon Best Wishes. So yeah, and yeah, and now let's talk about Team Rocket or Rakuten. I think that they're the best versions of their characters, because first they were all black suits in the beginning, but then later on they changed back to their white suits. So I think that's pretty cool. And their plan to create Operation Tempest by using Meloetta and use the issue or Universion legendaries is pretty cool. Then we also got Plasma Dan, or Team Plasma, who was supposed to have a big battle with Team Rocket, but of course that was canceled. That never actually happened because of a natural disaster. A natural disaster happened during that time, so they could not air the episode, and it has not aired to this day. It is not aired to this day. So yeah. But Ash eventually just stopped Plasma Dan. And there's also N. N is a character that Ash meets on the cruise ship. Yeah, Yoshi goes on a cruise ship. He meets N. N doesn't like them at first, but then he grows to like them. And yeah, and in the games, he actually works for Team Plasma. But in this version, he doesn't actually work for Team Plasma. He actually wants to stop Ghetsis, their boss, and they eventually, and Team Plasma or Plasma Dan eventually gets arrested. So yeah, they also weaken Reshiram. Yeah, and now let's talk about Ash's rival, Trip or Shooty. Yeah, I kind of don't like the name of Shooty, so I'm gonna call him Trip for the review. So yeah, he first bounced Trip or Shooty first bounced Satoshi in episode 1, but because Satoshi's Pikachu is, because of Zekrom couldn't use his electric powers, he gets beaten in the first episode by a newbie trainer. Yes, Trip is a newbie trainer, and he gets beaten in the first episode. Again, but yeah. Trip is trying to be like the Gary and the Paul, like he's a new trainer, but he doesn't trust Ash. And there's also, I also like how he wants to be champion, and he eventually loses to the champion he's trying to beat. I really like that. Yeah. He wanted to beat the champion, but yeah, I think it's Alder in the English version. So yeah. But yeah, I kind of like how they focus on the people to the Turin side of the Trip when they're not focusing on the Gary Paul side of him. They're focusing on the Turin side, and yeah, I really like that. So also Ash has Satoshi. Satoshi has some rivals. Iris has a rival, and Siren has a Siren. Dent. I was gonna say Siren. Dent has a rival. So yeah, let's talk about Ash's rival. Ash's rival is Kenyon, who has this running joke of him always, or Stefan, Stefan. He has a joke where he always pronounces his name wrong, but I think that the thing is that they actually pronounce his name right at the end. So yeah, and there's also Belle, who, yeah, she's a clumsy person, because the joke for her is that she always when she bumps into Satoshi, she's always saying, look out, and bumps him into water, which is okay. And and then in one tournament arc, she had this thing where she couldn't keep her eyes off of Zorua, and that's what the whole arc was for her in the tournament arc. One tournament arc where she could not keep her hands off of Luke's Zorua, and when Luke told her to keep an eye on the battle, do you know what she did? She videotaped Zorua, and when he saw it, he was like, "This is the only picture of Zorua. There's only videos of Zorua," and he's like, "That's what you told me to do." And he's like, "That's what you told me to do." He's like, "No, I told you to keep an eye on the battle." And he's like, he's also like, Belle or Bianca is her English name. I'm not gonna trade you Zorua. She's the movie star, or yeah. So that's yeah, and then there's another episode of Belle where she goes to a tournament arc. She goes to another tournament arc, the Club Explosion arc. Then there's another one of her where she trades her Pokemon with Professor Aragi or Professor Juniper, and yeah. So, and then there's another arc with her where she goes to challenge the gym leader, but then her father's like, "Hey, I don't want you to be on this journey anymore." But she's like, "No, I want to be on this journey." So the gym leader says, "I'll bow." She says, "I'll bow you," and she ends up being lost. But Satoshi bows her father, and that gets her to continue her journey. And yeah, and then let's talk about Dent, or Silent rival. His rival is Cabernet, or Burgundy. Burgundy is the most annoying character ever. Just most annoying character in Pokemon. She wants when we first meet her, I was gonna be like, is she going to be better than Burgundy? But no, she's Cabernet is more annoying than Burgundy ever was. Because one, she wants Ash to get rid of all of his Pokemon because she kept trash talking them. So they were like, we ain't have enough of this, and attacked her. And yeah, and then when Oshawott or Mijimaru tries to warm up to her, she says that she doesn't like it. Like, come on, most annoying character ever in Pokemon anime. But at least the rivalry with Dent is interesting because she says, as Silent says, he says, it's a tasting attainment, or it's connoisseuring time. I like it's tasting attainment better, so I'm gonna say that. And she says, it's tasting attainment. S'il vous plaît. They're very good French. Yeah, and she has some Pokemon too, and yeah. So, yeah, and then we got Iris, and her rival is Langley or Georgia. Yeah. Georgia is a Dragon Buster. She wants to battle Iris because she has a bunch of Dragon types. I really like Iris's goal in the series, except for that one episode where she fought with Satoshi. Yeah, her line is always calling Satoshi a child when he does childish things. So yeah. And yeah, she has a Dory. She has her main Pokemon Kibibago or Axew, and her Dorizu or Excadrill. I really like her story, and she also catches a Dragonite later. She catches an Amonga, not a Molga, it's a Monga, and yeah. So yeah, and I really like her storyline with Excadrill is that he used to steal Pokemon's food, but then Iris kept winning, getting defeated. She kept going after him, getting defeated, but then when she wins, he gets captured and they form a special bond. And then one of the tournaments he evolved, and then one of the tournaments that she competes in, he evolves into Excadrill, and that's where he fights Drayden's Japanese name, and eventually gets defeated. Which when he gets defeated, he's so in shock, he closes himself off from Iris, and Iris keeps trying to talk to him, but he won't talk to her, and that's why. And then we go back to the present where he learns Focus Blast, where Iris and him try to learn Focus Blast, and he warms up to Iris even more, and yeah. Then we got Axew. I mean Kibibago, Kibago, yeah. Who I really like as a character. His dream is to eventually evolve into his ultimate form, his ultimate form, and yeah, I think that's very cool, and yeah. So yeah, I think that's very cool, and she also has an Amonga, and yeah. Then we got Silent, and he has, I'm gonna say Pansage. He has a Pansage, and he has a Crustle, and I think that's it. And he's also, yeah. And then we got Satoshi, who has Crocodile. Can't say English name for that. Pikachu, Pokeboo, Tasuraja, and Mijimaru. He even has a Levani, and and Scraggy. So yeah. And then final one is when Ash first arrives in Dent's town, he challenges Dent and all of his brothers named Pod named Pod and his other brother Crest. Pod and his other brother to a battle. He battles all three of them. He beats two of them and loses. He beats Pod and the Crest. It's not Crest, but I like calling it Crest. So Crest and beats Dent, and then Dent's like, "Hey, since you got my badge, I'm gonna come along with you because I want to ask you more questions." And yeah, and then there's the second gym leader. Lenora. The second gym leader, Lenora, I think. Yeah. Then there's the third gym leader, Ash Satoshi about a lot of gym leaders. Yeah. But then we get to the Univ League or the Issue League where it ends up being Cameron who wins, which because they had to have him have a Lucario, which Ash would eventually get in Pokemon Journeys, okay. Is there? Alright. There is. Let's talk about Hikari's or Dawn's return. I really like it. Like they never mention what happened to her after Diamond and Pearl, but never mentioned it. But it's okay. And also, I like the opening theme, who's sung by Ash's Satoshi's voice actress, and then the second one called Be an Arrow. And I really like the first one because unlike Black and White, who just had all the Pokemon introduced in the first episode theme song, this one actually does little by little, like their silhouettes, and the first opening their silhouettes, and then every time each Pokemon is introduced, they do like a reveal, and it's pretty cool. And and the ending themes, they're not that they're good, but they're not that good. They're good, but Anyway, let's talk about the ending. I also like how they brought back Lizardon or Charizard, and they also brought back Claire from Johto, and So let's talk about the ending. The ending is that Ash Satoshi meets a girl named Alexis, who is a reporter, and then Iris wants to go with Claire to Johto, and then Silent, Dent wants to do a fishing competition. It's like, wait, what? You could have done better. But silent ending. So maybe with Iris turning in Pokemon Journeys, maybe they'll explain it. Maybe her Axew is finally evolved, or maybe it's still an Axew. But and she also got Dragonite, which I thought was cool. So and Ash eventually goes back to Kanto, and he reclaimed his master goal to become a Pokemon master, and and that leads him to Koa. So that was my review for Pokemon Best Wishes. This season is a good season. It's better than Black and White. But I have some, like, problems. One, Ash's, like, soft reboot back into the original Ash from the original season. I have a problem with that. Two, him having to relearn how to capture Pokemon, and him and Dan 2 times having to explain to him how when when you have 7 Pokemon, your Pokemon becomes small. And 3, actually, yeah, and yeah. So yeah, that was my review. That's only 2 nitpicks I have, and the soft reboot. But yeah, thank you for watching my review of Pokemon Best Wishes, Best Wishes, or Best Wishes. I'll see you. See you in the or see you on the next review for Pokemon XY or Pokemon XY, one of the best seasons of Pokemon ever. And yeah, one of the best Pokemon seasons ever. And see you guys in the next review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my XY review.